X Harper here, WWE2k19. New content update coming at you. Early in the morning for me. I've actually only just woke up because I had a late night last night creating content. But it's all for your benefit, so let's go and show you what I've been working on and what I've been editing. Some of it, unfortunately, actually I lied, isn't for your benefit because I can't upload it and put it into community creations or whatever. So there is some of the stuff that you just can't get your hands on. I'm sorry. What I will do though is show you anyway. That way, one, you'll feel bad about the amazing content you don't get to have. That was a joke. And two, maybe you can look at how I've done it, like specifically with the superstar that I've created, or edited, I should say. I want to really show you how I've edited it, what I've changed, so that if you download the same one, you can just go and edit it yourself. So let's get straight into this. We've got okay, the first thing, one that I have made changes to that you can download from the community creations. I've edited my Sandman model. Basically, I think sometimes every now and then I like to go back into each of my creations and just sort of revisit and say, how does it look? Am I happy? What would I change if I could change anything? There's a few things with Sandman that I could still change, like the shadowing on his face. I think I could dampen that. I could go back into Photoshop and really, now that I've got more experience, I'd be very confident that I could get rid of all that heavy shading around the bags under his eyes, especially on the right side of his nose. It looks really heavy, and so he's got like almost a scar line on his nose, but it's actually just the shadow from the photo. Anyway, with that said, I didn't want to do that. What I did want to do was go in and change a couple of things. Basically, I noticed that I just felt his head was too narrow before. I also felt that his eyes were too big, so I've gone and repositioned the eyes slightly. I've made them smaller. I've also widened his head in general, and actually I think it's come out a lot closer to what I wanted. I don't know why I just didn't do that in the mouth. Made the mouth smaller as well, and then I also adjusted his nose slightly. But that's it. Like, it's a real simple minor change, but it made a big enough difference that when I looked at it, I was a lot happier. So I've gone and thrown that into community creations for you. You can download that now. You just need to search Sandman ECW. I think I usually put WWF as another tag, but you can search any of those tags and you will find Sandman there. The next thing I did, which isn't in community creations, but it's such a small change that I think you might as well go in and do it yourself if I just show you what I did. And that is to Crash Holly. If you haven't seen him before, here he is. I think he looks really cool. Now, you probably won't notice the difference if you've already got Crash, but if I zoom in, it will become apparent quite quickly. So you will notice this scar here has been added. Basically, it was something I wanted to add when I first did his model. I noticed in the picture that I was working off that Crash has this scar in that position there. So like I said, pause this video, take a screenshot, do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to upload it just to add the scar. I think it's something that you guys can add just to make it even more realistic to Crash Holly. It's really simple. Obviously getting the skin tone and the flesh tone is important, but to be honest, as long as I tried to achieve it so that it basically blends in, but there's a little bit of darkness that comes with it, which is what a scar should do. It does stand out, and you can see it when he's walking down to the ring. I'm going to have a match with him later, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm definitely gonna have a match with one of my other creations, so I might make him the opponent just so that you can see what he looks like in the ring. But again, that was a really simple change that I've made to the content. I think you should do it too, because he does have that scar in real life, and it would make the game that little bit more authentic. I think those little scars really make a difference when they actually have them, of course. It adds that extra layer of authenticity to the wrestler. The next one that I've edited, now I'm debating this one, so if you want this one to be uploaded, you guys need to overwhelm me with support and encouragement to do so, because my Farouk is doing really well anyway on community creations. I think I've got like, he's approaching like 400 downloads. So this isn't the one that you'll see on community creations. I know, I'm sorry, I went back and made some adjustments after and then realized that it looked a lot better, but it was too late by that time. What I've done here is, if you haven't noticed, Farouk has a proper goatee, which is what he had at some point in his WF reign. I've added that because the goatee that came with the face scan doesn't look that great, and this looks better, and it actually hides the poor quality of the goatee on the face scan. Next year I'm going to do a proper render of him once now that I've got more experience of doing face scans. I know what I would change with Farouk, and I think that I would do a much better job. I could have tried it this year, but I think the model looks good enough that there's no need to go and make that kind of overhaul. The other thing I did, just to let you know, I've changed the material type of his outfit to velour, just because velour comes out more black. There's a bit of a shine to it, but for me, it's more important to get the blackness of the attire rather than the shine as much. So I've added velour. You can go and do that to the attire. It makes Farouk look awesome. I think it also matches the rest of the Nation of Domination, because all of my other characters that I've created have velour as their material, except for the Rock, but the Rock kind of has a natural shine to his trunk anyway. So that's another minor edit, but one that I'd happily upload if you guys want it. I just need support and encouragement to do so. Finally, okay, this is the big one of all the content, of all the creative wrestlers I've got. This is the big change. I went through my character list yesterday and I had a look at all the wrestlers that are left. Yes, I'm sad. I make my own list. I've got a Google sheet where I create a list of all the content, the roster, who I'm going to add each year, what their ratings are, what stables they're in, what music I give them, what entrance I give them, loads of detail. It's ridiculous, but it helps me every year. And this year is actually the first year where I've really built this list out and fleshed it out, so it's really extensive now, but it helps me when it comes to creations. Anyway, the one person missing was Gangrel, and I think I tweeted about it about a week or two ago, where I just sort of asked the community, hey, are there any good Gangrels out there? We need a good one. I went back in and lo and behold, there's no good Gangrel out there, or they're not that great. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to put people down for their creations. They're just not that great. But there was one that was close, and so I went in and downloaded it, sorry, and then I decided that it didn't look good enough, so I edited it myself, and this is what I've come out with. I'm really sorry I can't upload this to community creations. I think personally it looks a lot more like Gangrel than the one that was on community creations. But what I can do is basically show you some of the simple tips that I did. It's the most popular download for Gangrel. Okay, so it's the easy one to find in community creations. I think he's had like 300 or 400 downloads. It's not bad. Like, the attire is more or less spot on. I'm very happy with that. I think his thighs need to be thicker, but that's a minor critique of a model like this. The face didn't look anything like that, by the way. It looked really bland. There wasn't really an expression on his face. His facial features didn't really stand out as Gangrel. One thing that they did really well that I liked was that they went to the trouble of adding the eyeshadow. And also his eye colour was wrong. They made it a really bright blue, almost a grey. And I've darkened that because looking at the images that I've got of Gangrel, his eyes were not that bright. I think he might have had contacts at one point when he was in WF. But this is what we've come out with, and I hope you like it. Apart from his upper lip, which is something that I can't work out, it was done by the person who created the original texture. I can't get that depth back any further than it is. I wish I could, because I think if it did that, it would actually be as perfect as it needs to be. That lip and maybe obviously the little dip on the end of his nose are the two things that I'm not excited about, but overall I am excited about the way this looks. So how did I get that from the guy that I downloaded? Well, it's very simple. Went into face deformation. The first thing I did, and I can tell you this straight away, was change these parts of the skull. Now, basically, when I uploaded this character, his skull was out here, somewhere like that, maybe even a little bit further. It was ridiculous. Now, when I looked at all the pictures, Gangrel's head actually goes in at these parts quite significantly. And so, even though I only made a slight change, in fact, I'm even going to change it more now that I'm here. I'm just going to go a little bit deeper, and there we go. Once I saw all of that, and made that one change, it made a big difference to the head shape of Gangrel. Then what I did, and you might want to pause right here on the video and just look at this, look at the structure that I've picked, because it is different to the one that you will download. You will see that when you've done it, and maybe try and mimic it, match it as close to this as you can. I think I changed his jawline very slightly, but not too much. He got whoever did it got the lower jaw really good, almost spot on. They didn't do the mouth perfectly. They made the mouth too big. The nose needed a little bit of changing, but not too much. Just a couple of tweaks here and there. One thing I will say about the nose is that I went full on with the depth for the nostrils, okay? Now the nostrils, it's hard to explain on here, but it's not the nostrils themselves, it's the actual nostril crease that you see that's just towards the bridge of the nose. Adding that depth really made this nose look a lot better. And then of course, like I said, I've readjusted the eyes slightly, changed it. I also changed the eyebrows as well. If you pause this video, you'll see all the changes I've made. I've also moved the ears in to his face, which is something that a lot of people ignore. I'm a big fan of changing the ears because I think the ears actually say a lot about the wrestler that you create, and it adds a lot of realism. You'll be surprised how much realism you add to a character just by getting their ears right. It's really weird to say, but that's how it is. The other thing I would do is take away the general size of his ears. I'm not happy with, but I'm just trying to look at where I can change that. Okay, here. That's a bit better. I just didn't like the fact that he'd made them so big, because they're not that big in real life. A lot of people get these things wrong. They're easy mistakes to make. You know, these aren't things I'm trying to criticize heavily. They're easy mistakes. Everybody makes them. I make them more than anybody as well. But in terms of editing this Gangrel, you can see that I've come out with something that looks, in my opinion, a lot better. The problem is I can't upload it. I wish I could, but I guess it's their face scan and whatnot, so unfortunately you guys are going to have to just look at what I've got. I did edit his entrance. I'd probably like to show you that in this video, but I don't want the video to be that long, and I've got a couple more things to show you, so I might not have time for that, but it's a great entrance, put it that way. And if you want help knowing what it is, it's basically the Terminator's ring entrance. It's the one where the Terminator is sitting in a ring of fire when he enters the ring ramp, and it looks perfect for Gangrel. I've used it for him every time since the Terminator came out in WE games, and it looks great. I think it's Hall of Fame inductee wing, or it's the wing, basically, the Hall of Fame wing 2, I think, or 1. There's only 2 options, so it's not going to be a problem for you guys just to find that out for yourselves. Apart from that, creation's done. I'm going to do a separate attires video at some point, because I've done loads of new attires for wrestlers who are on the game. Used up some of the core spots that I've got spare now. But for the next show, I'm going to show you the moveset that I've done. And this is probably the most significant creation that I made, because I went through it last night. Couple of things here. When I first wanted a D'Lo Brown, there was one D'Lo that was not that great on the game, and he had loads of downloads, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. I then created my own D'Lo Brown to try and counter that, and I think mine looks a lot better. I'm not saying it's perfect at all, but it looks a lot closer to the actual D'Lo Brown. Skin color, the face scan, the face shape, particularly the face size and his head shape. They're really good. If you're in the game, they look really good. I think if I could go back, I would probably change the eyebrows slightly. I think I would change his eyes. I think the main issue is the eyes and the eyebrows, basically. So that's what I would change to make it look a little bit more like D'Lo Brown. I think if I do that, it'll look perfect. Anyway, what I've done is created a moveset for him. So what I'll do is I'll just go into the main bits that I've changed, and then you can pause it or just download the moveset. What am I talking about? You don't need to pause it. It's about 80%. I usually rank things in percentages of how accurate I think they are. I've spent about an hour watching a video of his top 75 moves. Most of them were high-flying moves, which is not helpful when you're trying to create like grapple moves and punches and stuff. So what I did was just create from what I saw. Usually I'm more extensive than that, but in this case I think I got everything that I needed to make it look as good as possible. What I'm going to do for you is play a match with D'Lo, but what I will do is skip the entrance, because hopefully you guys have already seen his entrance. I'll also do fast momentum so I can get the match done and I can show you the finishes, etc, etc. So if I have D'Lo Brown versus... I want to show off my Al Snow creation, so I'm going to pick Al Snow. Both of these characters can be downloaded from Community Creations. Let's just go ahead and start. SmackDown Live's fine. So there's one more thing after this, but this will help just show you what the moveset looks like, how D'Lo plays out in the game. Al Snow doesn't have his own moveset yet. That's probably one that I'm going to work on at some point, so I will inform you when that one's out. Keep your eyes out for that. But D'Lo is done, and I'm happy with him. Right, here we go. So that little shoulder block there was actually a move that I'd found on the videos that I'd been watching last night. The flapjack that you just saw. I'm not an expert on all these moves. That move, whatever it is some sort of slam. It's in the move list. You'll find out when you download it. Well, Snow getting cocky with his little reversal. Now, I'm not doing this for aesthetic reasons. The match is going to look crap. I'm doing it just to show you what moves I've used. You saw the DDT there. I used that one. Snap suplex is one that was on there anyway. So this is why I say 80%. I did change all of D'Lo's taunts as well, or at least a few of them. There are no D'Lo Brown taunts, which I found really interesting because there's everything else on here for D'Lo. But it is what it is. No, do not want to do that, but let's just roll with it. Basically, it was quite a quick edit, basically. I didn't need to change too much about D'Lo's character or moves. A lot of the time, it's just little things. You change the odd little thing here and there, and it just makes the world of difference. This back suplex is definitely one of the new additions. Let's do some heavy ones, see what I've got on there for the heavy moves. Again, he didn't do that move, but he did one very similar, and he often did. D'Lo was technical. He was a very technical wrestler that I don't think he gets enough credit for, probably because of his look and his character. Again, spine buster. So there's a face buster and a spine buster. Yes, he does both. Belly to belly on. I don't actually know if he did the belly to belly, but this is another move as well that you're going to see that obviously should be in the game. The D'Lo leg drop has been added, and that's just a normal move, so you do that at the top of the head. He's in control. Then let's see what happens if I just press triangle. Oh, this is a Batista bomb. He did do a running power bomb, that's what he did, but for the game, I think that's fair, and that works okay. Jump up to the top rope. And we got the lowdown.
Here's his moment, Michael. So simple, yet so effective.
Simple, easy, quick match, done. But that was a little bit of a look at the moveset he's got. It's a lot better than the one that's currently on the game. And I think you will enjoy it. Obviously, he's got his celebration for D'Lo. Very happy overall with my D-Lo character now. And again, I think just the moveset just adds that extra layer of realism to everything else that's in the game. And I think it's important to make sure you get the moveset done. So the moveset has been created for you. Finally, money in the bank. Oh, no! So I've done a couple of money in the banks. I actually wanted to do more. I said it a while ago that I was going to work on some, and I have. I've just done another 2 though for now. Being as I've created the whole nation of domination anyway, I just figured I might as well do another one. So another creation for the nation is their Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, there is no other briefcase for the nation of domination. Shame on you, WWE community. I'm surprised nobody actually tried one, but I did. That's what it is. It's very simple, but it applies to all of them. So I didn't want to do like individual The Rock, Farouk, Mark Henry, Karma, and D-Lo. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I just like a stable to cover all of them. That way, any of them can win it, including the Rock in particular for me. And he can hold that briefcase, and it looks really cool. I've also added Sting briefcase, very similar to my NWO briefcase, but I think it looks really slick and nice. Very simple, minimalistic. It's what I like. I did this Hulk Hogan one, and I was like, no, I am not for messy, crowded, cluttered designs. I like minimal. I think it looks good. By the way, you should download this ECW one. I've looked at some of the ECW briefcases, and this one is a very good looking briefcase. Come on, people. Get on it. I did a CM Punk one and then realised somebody else had done a really good one as well. I apologise to that person. I wasn't trying to copy. I just thought it would be a good idea. Shame on me. My Bret Hart one started doing quite well, and then all the rest. But what I'll do is I will show you one last image, which will be my community creation, so that you can see everything that's available for download. I passed 26,000 yesterday. I had a really good day of downloads yesterday. I had over 1,000 in a day, which is very unusual, certainly for me. So I was really pleased with that. Thank you again to everyone who's downloaded any of my content. I hope you're enjoying it. So there's the Farouk of old with the basic, like a moustache, like I said, and with the default material. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna. I mean, if you really want him, I'll upload him. But he's already got like 400 downloads. D-Lo, I am gonna delete this one because it was the first one that I tried. It sucked, and I wasn't happy. So I went back and created another one. RVD is RVD. Road Dogg's doing really well. Very happy with the amount of downloads he's getting. Next year will be a lot better because I've learned and grown from the face scan experience. And as you can see, basically from Paul Orndorff onwards, I started changing the way that I did face scans. So I think you'll see that Road Dogg and Farouk will benefit from that next year. Hopefully, anyway. Paul Orndorff looks great, but there are some other ones that look good. I think mine looks the best, but they all look good, so it doesn't bother me if you don't download that one. D-Lo is doing all right now. He's obviously overtaken this one quite a while ago now. And again, there's a moveset available, so you can download him. The moveset doesn't come with the character. It means I would have to download the whole, upload the whole creation again. I don't want to do that. Just go in and upload the moveset itself. Download the moveset. Like I said, it's early. I was working late last night. Sandman, Hunter's nothing. Sandman was my first attempt, and if you look at the two, I think you can see the difference, especially with the width of his head, and I think it looks more realistic. It's already had a few downloads without me even promoting it, so I'm just going to leave it and see which one does better. Whichever one gets, if it catches up to this one, then I will simply delete this one, and that gives me an extra slot for another core later. And then you can see Al Snow and Crash Holly. Al Snow has been doing really well. I had a load of tweets and love given to me on social media over this model. I think you'll all agree it looks fantastic. Crash Holly looks great. Hasn't had as much love, but deserves it. He looks awesome. So those are my two those are my created wrestlers. Images you don't need to see because I haven't really added anything new. My arenas, I would simply say to you, go and download WrestleMania 14. It is the best WrestleMania 14 arena that you're going to see without the game. It's even better than when 2K did their own version of WrestleMania 14, because they got the ring mat color wrong, they got a load of elements wrong. It was insane how much they got wrong, considering they built it and it was supposed to be a default arena in the game. King of the Ring 98 is also an excellent looking arena, so download that. I would advise you download, if you like WCW, download all my WCW arenas. I think they're all cool and they all look good. I think the numbers of downloads that I've got speak for themselves on these. As you can see, Starcade 97 is doing awesome, but the rest deserve love too, man. They look great. Championships, same old. I haven't really. The only new one that I've created is the Universal title, which I download it, but you won't be able to use it in Universe mode. And I did a video on this. There is a glitch, there's a bug, whatever you want to call it. If you use a custom belt, which the template of that belt uses side plates. So, for example, the Cruiserweight title has side plates. If we go back to the WE title, which is the WE Cruiserweight title, which is the one I used, the Universal title I blatantly used as a template for this. If you customize it, it confuses the game, and anybody who has a custom side plate in the game crashes it, so you can't use these titles. They're working on a fix. I tweeted what the response from 2K was this morning. Go and have a look at that. I don't want to explain anymore. If somebody out there is watching, please just give me the token 1 download for the ECW women's title, just so it gets over that 99 mark. It's been sitting there for a couple of days now, and I'm getting anxious. Money in the Bank, you can see now the whole selection. I don't have many. I'm not that heavily into it. Next year, I think I'll probably get into it a bit more. But, hey, they're doing okay. But Nation of Domination looks good. Sting looks good. Download them if you want. Shows, I've still got room for a couple of shows. Hint, hint, if you want one. If there's a specific pay-per-view that you love from the Attitude Era that you want to see, let me know. I went and created that logo myself for King of the Ring. I actually just basically edited it from the original and managed to make that PNG. So that'll go in every year now, which is awesome. But like I said, if there's one that you want from like between 96 and 2000, let me know and I will see if I can create it for you. Movesets, D-Lo has had one download. That was sometime when I was asleep, because I woke up this morning and found it. Thank you to that one person. I hope you're enjoying the moveset. And then all the rest. Eddie's doing quite well. Goldberg's doing really well this year. I don't understand why. Obviously, I think that my movesets are accurate and authentic, but I didn't expect Goldberg to be the standout wrestler. Stone Cold's got a lot of downloads. He's got a really good moveset. They've all got great movesets. Sting and Ric Flair are the ones that surprise me the most, because they have the most, in my opinion, the most accurate movesets to what they did in real life. And yet those two are the ones with the least amount of downloads. Download those if you want to find out why they're accurate. Brett's doing well. Sean's doing well. The Rock's growing. Scott is growing. Scott was my best moveset last year. He got over 100 downloads last year in WWE2k19. For some reason, I've kept the exact same moveset and he's not doing as well this year, even though he's been on the game earlier. But that is all my content. And I am done! Now, just to let you know, there will be 2 more videos today. It's a video heavy day. I've got universe mode stuff to do. I've got a booking video that's going to be coming out for my Friday Night Raw. And then I've obviously got the actual Friday Night Raw event coming as well. Please like, dislike, comment. Always comment. That's what I will say. If you like it, please comment and let me know. Don't just click the thumbs up and down for no reason. I really want you to comment and let me know what I can make better, what I can do better. Can I speak better? Can I make these videos shorter? What works? What looks better for you guys? I'm doing these for you. Subscribe to the channel. Keep following what's going on. Hit me up on Twitter at xharperco or on Instacool. I am X Harper. You have been awesome. And until the next video, what?